Joakim Noah, after 13 seasons, is retiring from the NBA and from basketball. Shams reported this on Sunday night, I think, and he just went on to say that his plan is to retire as a Chicago Bull, where he had most of his success in his 13-year career. He spent 9 years as a Bull. So in this video, we're going to get into Joakim Noah's career, where we rank him as a Bull, really, and just go through his career, go through his ups and downs, and yeah. So let's start at the start. His college career, where he first made his name, really. He won back-to-back NCAA championships in 2006 and 2007. And in the 2006 tournament especially, he went on a very good run, averaging 16.2 points per game and 9.5 rebounds a game. And after that championship run, people thought he'd go for, the NBA draft. But he waited another year, and it kind of paid off. With the Florida Gators, he won back-to-back. As I said, in 2007, he got the second one. And after 2007 season, he decided to go for the NBA draft, where Noah was picked 9th overall in the 2007 NBA draft by the Chicago Bulls, and that's where he spent 9 years of his career and a very, very successful spell there. When drafted, he was, just brought in as a energetic guy coming on from the bench. He had a very weird and ugly looking jump shot. He didn't really offer too much, first brought in. Just energy off the bench. He's going to give his all. But over time he improved. And when people first started to notice Noah and his potential was in the 2009 NBA playoffs. In a 7-game series versus the Boston Celtics, he ended up averaging 15 points per game and 13 rebounds a game on 52% shooting versus the Celtics, who would end up going to the NBA Finals that year. So he did a very good season, very good postseason for Noah, and that's where the Chicago Bulls fans started to realize that they got more than an energetic guy coming off the bench, and they went from strength to strength from there. He continued to improve, and in the 2011 offseason, he signed a 5-year, $60 million extension with the Bulls. So that's big money, at the time for Noah. And unfortunately for him, right after he signed that extension, he missed a good chunk of the season due to surgery on his right thumb. So he missed most of the 11-12 season. I think that was Derrick Rose's MVP season as well. So he missed most of that season. But he got back for the playoffs, but they ended up getting eliminated by the Miami Heat. Then in 2013, he recorded only his third triple-double, and he became one of only few players to get a triple-double with blocks. He got 11 blocks in that triple-double. So he just shown his potential as they go from strength to strength, signed that contract, and now getting 11 blocks in a triple-double. Also in 2013, he made his first All-Star appearance. So he went first-time All-Star in 2013, and overall, a very good season for him. The 2013-14 season, though, was peak Joakim Noah. That's when we saw the best of him. This was the season that Noah, really broke out in the NBA. D Rose was injured for most of that season, so the Bulls ran most of their offense through him, even though he's not a scorer, more of a passer. So they ran their offense through him. That season, he averaged 12.6 points per game, 5.4 assists per game, and 11.3 rebounds a game. Also averaging 1.5 blocks a game and 1.2 steals a game. So unbelievable stat line there. He came 4th in MVP voting, ahead of people like James Harden and Steph Curry that season, surprisingly enough. And he also got voted Defensive Player of the Year. He also became a second-time All-Star, back-to-back, and a first-time All-NBA. So that season, as I said, peak Joakim Noah. DPOY, when the Bulls drafted Joakim Noah, no one expected him to come a Defensive Player of the Year. Never mind an MVP candidate. 4th, as I said, in that. So that's unbelievable season for him. As I said, he was the main man of that team with D Rose injured, but he did very, very well. Then the 2014 to 2015 season, he had knee surgery in the 2014 off season, and now you're starting to see some of the injuries building up, and that's why it shortened his career. He got to the Bulls. The Bulls had a very good team that year, and the Bulls got to the second round of the Eastern playoffs. They had people like Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, Pau Gasol, and of course Noah. And they went to the second round where they lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers, but they had a 2-1 series lead, and they were very close to taking a 3-1 series lead. Didn't quite manage it, ended up losing that season in the second round, and that's really where it all started to fall apart for Noah. But on Tom Thibodeau, he left the Bulls. The coach who brought Noah in, he left the Bulls before the 15-16 season, and that would end up being Joakim Noah's last year as a Chicago Bull. He dislocated his left shoulder, which took away a lot of his offensive, all the moves he had in his bag and his passing. That affected that left shoulder dislocation. He also fell out with the best player in the team at the time, Jimmy Butler, who was getting better and better. They had fallen out, and he ended up leaving the Chicago Bulls in the 2016 offseason. And that ended a 9-year, very, very successful spell for him in Chicago. As I said at the start of the video, he was brought in as an energetic guy you can bring on for a few minutes, maybe protect the rim or something, with a very ugly jump shot. But he turned out to be a lot more, with a mid-range game, passer, leader, defensive anchor. So he had a great spell in Chicago. In the 2016 offseason, the New York Knicks, and this is where when the Knicks are interested in you at that stage. The Knicks right now, current day, are doing very well, but back then, they were going through they were really, really struggling in the NBA. But anyway, in the 2016 offseason, they offered Joakim Noah a 4-year, $72 million deal. So a lot of money for him, which obviously he took, and he became a New York Knick. He only played 46 games in his first season because of right knee surgery. So now, as I said, the injuries are building up, where he averaged 5 points per game, and just not a successful first season. But I think that was bad. His second season was worse. He only got to play 7 games of that second season. They had a falling out. He also, in the 16-17 season, he got banned after testing positive for PEDs. So things were really going downhill for him in New York. Injuries, failed a drugs test, and then second season he fell out with his head coach Jeff Hornacek, and it was all downhill from there. He was banned from going to practice. They didn't want him anywhere near the team. He just sat at home all day picking up that big check. And then after the 17-18 season, the New York Knicks, they waived him. They paid him off. They bought him out actually, sorry, not waived him. They bought him out, gave him his money, and they let him go. And right after that, Noah, he kind of fell off a cliff at that stage. Injuries are catching up with him. Failed a drugs test, as I said. And he really hit rock bottom. Then he joined in the 2018 offseason. He joined the Memphis Grizzlies, where he got to play 42 games, averaging 7 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. So he's still showing that he can be a role player for a championship team, which, when the Grizzlies decided to waive him at the end of that season, he was being linked with the Lakers. When Boogie Cousins got injured for the Lakers in the 2019 offseason, Dwight Howard and Noah were linked, with the Lakers. They ended up going for Dwight Howard, but Noah ended up joining the Clippers in the bubble, last year's bubble. He only had to play 5 games for the Clippers before being waived in December, and that's where we are now, where he's announced he's retired. And it's sad because after such a good stint in Chicago, he kind of went all downhill. As I said, injuries, failing drug tests. Playing the Knicks isn't help either, Like, he's playing a very good Chicago Bull team. Playing with the Knicks never really helps. But Noah, he achieved a lot more than people thought he would when he came into the league. So overall, Noah, he was an underrated passer for sure. Very good passer for a 6'11" big man. Obviously, he had a mid-range game, even though his jump shot was ugly as hell. He had a mid-range game, so he didn't shoot any trees, no 3-point range. But a defensive anchor, as I said, get a few points on the board, grab a few rebounds. Noah was one of those players. When he's on your team, you'd love to have him. Someone like Draymond Green with the Warriors now. But if you're not a Chicago Bulls fan, especially in his prime in Chicago, you'd probably hate Joakim Noah. Look at LeBron. Him and LeBron James, massive rivalry from 2010, 2015, meeting each other in the playoffs. He really got under LeBron's skin. Never got past LeBron in the playoffs, but he got under his skin. He made the 2011 Eastern Conference Finals with the Bulls. That's when they were at their peak. He failed at the Knicks, as I said, but we're going to focus on the 9 successful seasons, 8 really, as a Chicago Bull. And he's going to retire as a Bull when it's reported. I think that's the best place for him to retire, That's where he had all his success. Injuries finished him off early. He's only 36, and that isn't young, but look at LeBron. And I said not everyone is LeBron, but 36, you're washed up, finished, it's not great. He did come into the league late though. I think he was 22 when he came into the league, 22, 23. So a 13-year career for a guy drafted 9th overall with not much expected, a 2-time All-Star, a former DPOY, an MVP, 4th in MVP voting, made the NBA for all first team, all defensive first team, got out eventually. He overachieved for sure, and he made money as well. He made the bag. Didn't get any max, but 60 million and 72. You know, he made money, he'll be fine, he'll be living well. So that's Joakim Noah story. That's his career really got halted by injuries. Injuries caught up with him, leaving the Bulls didn't help. But prime Joakim Noah and that prime Chicago Bulls team in the 2010s with Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, Pau Gasol, they were a great team to watch. And Noah most people are not going to be sad to see him go. He wasn't a favourite unless you're a Chicago Bulls fan. But, you know, you got to respect what he did. He had a very good career. Overachieved, as I said. But anyway guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn notifications because we're getting 3 videos out a week, so stay notified. Any videos, suggestions you have, leave in the comments. And thanks for watching. With all that said, I'm out of here.